my iPhone.
There you go.
And we're going to go ahead and call roll first, and then we'll do pledge.
Chairperson Tamori,
President.
Commissioner Bears, absent. Commissioner Krantz,
Here.
Commissioner Jocelyn,
Here.
Commissioner Raymond.
Here.
So we'll now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So just a note, several years ago, if you're a veteran, you can salute when you do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
And then also the national anthem. Just a little note for the public out there that's viewing today. So I think it's appropriate to just mention, we're here to be creators, that's my opinion. And the opposite of creating is destroying. So if you think about it, we're actively trying to create beauty in our city to make it a place where everyone wants to be. And then you have these random acts of violence that remind you that the opposite of creating is destroying. So just a moment, what I do is at different times in my day, I just send some healing energy out to the universe for victims of different things, and I invite everybody to do that at some point, as you feel it. And community created a really nice event yesterday with chili, and I just forgot. I thought I was at lunch for some reason, but anyway.
It was great. There was.
I think I saw your picture there.
Yes, it was an amazing turnout. That's why I love our community so much. It's really sad that we are.
Yeah, and that gathering was creating a positive energy as opposed to to counteract the random acts. And then the tree lighting or the bridge lighting was another creative idea, and it's brought a lot of recognition. So I just want to say that. Any other commissioners want to make a comment?
Sunday was another example of the community coming together. It was a really nice event at the Lot Home, the 50th anniversary mistletoe party.
Oh, I missed it.
And we had some wonderful musicians out in the patio area. And it was a nice day, so people were just enjoying coming in and out of the house and walking the grounds. This upcoming Saturday is Pioneer Christmas at the Pioneer Museum. Lots of fun activities and old-fashioned sort of creativity for the kids. A special guest will be there, so.
Wow, there's so much to do in Oroville.
So much to do.
So we now have the public communication of non-agenda items. And that's when you fill out the card, they can talk?
Yes.
So Walton, I invited Walton Walker here. And Walton, you want to introduce yourself and all? And we're talking about his salmon sculpture that's up in front of the Centennial Hall. And the notion is that sculpture doesn't get enough recognition there. So just a little, whatever you want to say about the history and.
Yeah, I'm
You got 3 minutes.
my name is Walton Walker,
Yes.
and I'm a true walker now because I'm too old to run. But anyway, I was born here in Butte County and grew up in Live Oak, though, and I've always been an artist. I'm a retired commercial beekeeper, a queen raiser, and I still make a little money off of it, but I don't know where to begin here. I've given a lot to Oroville. I gave a lot to Bud Bolt's museum, the disc that's out front, it's not a disc, it's a plow, I donated to him that he has his mailbox on. And I donated a lot of tools that I had that the people's property I bought, they were original owners. And so I found all these old things, and I started making sculptures out of those first thing. But, and I'm acrylic painter. Done a lot of paintings. I have more than I've ever sold. I did also during the Salmon Festival one year, I did a whole bunch of salmon paintings, but I'm a little different. I painted them different colors than what a real salmon looks like. And I guess Oroville wasn't ready for abstract because I only sold one of them. But I never felt that I should paint to sell. I just paint because that's what I feel like I have to do. I'm a Vietnam veteran. And painting sort of saved my life. I did a lot of paintings about the experience, and a lot of them are abstract. Most all of them are abstract. They went on tour to different colleges for 5 years, and then they went to, I took them to Ohio, they had a cow barn there that they turned into a gallery. And so a lot of veterans. I was the only one there from California, but that was a really, really good show. Everybody really enjoyed that. And I've still been doing that. Don't show them much anymore.
Yeah, time.
So,
Is my time up?
yeah, but you know what? Maybe we could agree to have you address the sculpture now and,
Okay.
wait, no, now come back up, right? Can we do that?
Okay, wait a minute. I'll just turn around.
New guy.
Glad to see you people here.
Can we give them another 3 minutes? Is that all right with commissioners?
Yeah.
Or is that breaking some sort of,
Is this all right?
It is breaking the Brown Act,
I
actually.
don't want to go to jail.
oh, it's breaking the Brown Act?
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
we have another time?
Oh,
at the-
okay.
After the other items, we have another time for public speakers? How about we do it at that point? Is that okay?
Okay. But that was good background information.
It was interesting.
Thank you for your service. We talked about it a lot. We've been in a couple of shows at the museum in Northern California when they used to have their veteran shows, so,
I do that with the Monica
yeah,
and also
yeah.
the Chico White Center.
So, okay, anybody else want to say anything about anything?
I have something.
Patrick.
Jennifer did write an email in and is recommending that we find someone to replace her.
Oh,
She said that her work schedule is just a little bit too much, and so she can't dedicate the time to the
Oh,
Arts
okay.
Commission. So we can agendize that on the next meeting,
yeah.
figure that out.
So, do we send out a notice? What's the procedure? It's been so,
I don't remember. Tracy, do you remember does council appoint or does it go through a process first where we look for applications?
Yeah, we look for ones. The
Okay.
rest are, if I remember.
That sounds right.
so we
So-
send out an announcement and then have a certain,
Right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
our city clerk here is writing this down, and
Okay.
they'll send it out.
Do we have a way to recognize their service somehow? Or just
We
give
did.
them-
We could put that on the next agenda.
Put a little thank you notice for Andy's, not Andy,
Andy's right there. Yeah, for Jennifer.
Jennifer's
Yeah.
service, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you-
that's kind of
Do you want to
sad.
move the first one to the last in case she might show up?
Yes, let's do that, because, I mean, when I talked to her, I thought she was, but, okay. So
Maybe she's just running late.
let's go to number 2, reports from subcommittees. And the first one, I guess, would be the Wings project. I got that somewhere. So, yeah, so Misty and Andy, you were the committee, so.
So I think now we have a little more clarity on potential location, permanence versus maybe something more, several months, I think is what we were discussing. And then possibly having something that could be taken down for a period of time and then replaced. So I think now that we know kind of the more long-term design idea of in front of the convention center, which was where Commissioner Rayom and I were sort of focused. Perhaps we should have another round of meetings and get some ideas for design and exact location and how mobile something needs to be, if we're gonna
Okay.
follow through with that plan. Does that sound okay with you, Commissioner Rayom? Yeah.
So agendize it again for some committee report at the next meeting? Okay. The, I think it sounds like what you're talking about is looking at when you say the portability, or I think, so you want to look at what the material is. Is it concrete, or,
Well,
is it?
so we did come up with a couple ideas to reflect the red-tailed hawk and the area out, I think we found out it was off of Larkin Road. So maybe we need to decide if a design that we're thinking of or a theme that we're thinking of is going to complement the rest of the design for the future of the convention center, would you say?
So is it going to be convention center or?
Well, I think that's what, because if it's something that would be extremely heavy or not easy to move, then
Right.
would we maybe need to think of a more permanent location?
Yeah.
Not in front of the convention center?
I think that with what goes in front of the convention center, the Art Commission can have some weigh in on that, but to come up with an actual plan for something would maybe be premature without having the council look at it, and then,
Okay.
because the whole design has to be vetted.
Right.
Yeah, so I feel like just making a decision at the Art Commission level and then planning on that being the case, maybe it wouldn't be the best advised plan, because it may end up being something else.
Okay.
We have to get the plan, we have to get the convention center exterior plan flushed out.
There was another spot that I don't know if you remember I mentioned, but it was like by BCOE and where that mural is. There's like an open, like empty grass place. I think it's across the street from the photography street. So there's just like it just glows. The sun comes down right there and it's just like an open, empty area for the grass. And people could walk around downtown, stop, take a picture in front of it. And if it's lit up at night, like if it was steel with like
Like that idea.
Because
stuff
one of-
glowing through it, they could
Yeah.
take a picture with their wings.
I like that idea.
One of our goals
Is it?
just during the meeting that Commissioner Rayom and I had was something where it's in a location and a photo opportunity highlighting the piece of art, but also downtown Oroville. And where that's really recognizable and that could really draw people to want to do a photo op and really admire and then hopefully keep people downtown and interested. And so not something you'd have to like hike to or,
Right.
find a parking place, something that, right, just kind of you're parked, maybe you're walking around, you're enjoying shopping in restaurants and then, oh, here's this sculpture that we've been
And
hearing
it is
about.
Native American, so it would be kind of nice with those other murals that are Native American. I don't know.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yeah, I like that idea too, because even like First Fridays, when everybody's downtown on First Fridays, that would be a good spot for, just kind of off the beaten path. But I mean, just still, it'd be an open area, especially if it's lit up at night and, people would be drawn to it to take pictures. So I like that location.
Good.
So I like that idea also, and like to interject that if we have one, I would be encouraged to maybe look for other locations and have other habitat wings. Could be the city of wings as an idea. And then, not that we're trying to draw people, but it just looking for ways to make it unique. Like we got our bridge and now we got the wings. And
There are, you may have seen these in some other cities where they have a public art, it's the same piece over and over again, but different organizations sponsor it, and then they, in some instances, pay or paint it, or something in their own way. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be something for you guys to talk about in your subcommittee meetings about if the idea is maybe to have some other ones around town, see if businesses would want to sponsor some, and then have them placed in different areas. So we'd come up with a design and then, yeah.
Commissioner Rayo?
So if we did do like several of them, this is kind of like the idea I had, like it's metal with the light coming through, and then you can stand on there. That's really big. That's like a 20-foot statue, but these were people that did the Burning Man. So these sculptures were like done for Burning Man, and then they used them in their light parade or whatever, so they could go around different spots. But I was driving down from Oroville High, and I noticed that white bridge, and it's really like an eyesore coming down. And then you can see that we're going to be looking at the lights on the green bridge. So I don't, maybe something to fix that bridge or something. I don't know.
Commissioner Kratz?
So also just to emphasize, we did go through several ideas of designs, and one of the reasons that we both really felt inspired by the red-tailed hawk design was because of a symbolic reason, and Commissioner Rayom enlightened me about that. Would you tell what they symbolize? About being
Okay.
on the right path?
Oh, let me see. So, yeah, so every time I see them, I would drive like on Larkin or 99, and I would see them going to work and back. And then every time I see them, I hear that you're on the right path or something. That's what they kind of symbolize. I don't know if that was Google. Did we Google it?
I
and
think
it
we
said
did. I think we
yes?
actually did a little bit of quick research about it, and that is
Correct.
that is tied to their symbolism as well.
Yes, and then I thought
That
it was
you're on
neat
the
that
right
it was
path.
native. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just keep going. Endurance.
So our So our next step would be to issue a NOFA for that, possibly? Is that what we're thinking? And,
It sounds like maybe we still have something to flesh out. Is that right or no?
well, I think we got, the idea would be the red-tailed hawk. And then we'd have to reach out to Butte County Office of Ed to see if they would like to offer that site. I don't think that's a problem, but, and it makes really good sense, the way you pointed out it was Native American.
Did you want to do it in multiple things? I mean, would the NOFA be for one person to make several of the same thing based on sponsorship? Or would it be to just make one and look for it at the BCOE?
Commissioner Johnstone?
So I think before we put it out for NOFA, I think maybe we look for different locations, right? Because it sounds like we would want to have multiple different locations to have them, with the help of sponsorships, different businesses or whatever could sponsor one, or it could rotate, whatever. But I think maybe having the committee locate some spots that would be good locations, and then so we have a plan in place, right? We reaching out to BCOE would be one of them to see if they would allow us the initial one. Also, do we have a sculptor in mind to do these wings?
I think that would be the NOFA.
That would be the NOFA, right? So we need to determine how many we would want them to make, that kind of stuff, before we put it out, right?
Right.
For notice. So I think we probably do have a little bit more work to do before we put it out to NOFA. What, would you agree?
So can we just clarify, so now, oops. Can we just clarify, so now this is no longer a project that would involve the intended artwork in front of the convention center? This is going to be something separate with a very separate location, correct? Okay.
I think so. The sculpture in front of the convention center could be an arts commission NOFA. I just feel like we need to flesh out that the plan for the exterior to see how everything fits, and then to make sure that we create a NOFA that fits the plan. So what the sculpture actually is right now is completely unknown. So I think that kind of makes sense.
Commissioner Rayo?
I kind of feel like we haven't really done a lot. Like, we've thought of ideas. We said we were going to pass things, like at one of the other parks, like Hammond Park, and we never saw them through. So I feel like if we just focus on one thing and make it big and make it like everyone's going to remember these wings when they come to Oroville. If we make it a big one, and rather than a bunch of little ones that we might not be able to afford, I just want to see something come to to light with this, because I was really excited with the wings, because I've been collecting these little things since 2023. So I've been really excited about this sculptor, and it's just amazing. The people you bring from different towns, like, it's really awesome. So I just really want to see something start to happen.
I think the other thing is, if we're going to put a big sculpture someplace, we need to have permission from where it's going to go. So I think, if I understand it right, we own the land where the BCOE is, but they lease it from us, so they would have to have some say. I don't know if we own it either, but I feel like I heard that. We do own it, right? I didn't know either. Okay, so.
I think so.
Yeah, but if either
I
we
think
own.
we own the land.
Either we own it and we lease it to them, or we don't own it and they own it. But either way, I don't think we can just really plan on putting something big in their spot without having them have some buy-in to it. So that's something I could reach out to them before the next meeting, and we could talk about that. We could still put the NOFA out without, like, location to be determined. And I could reach out to the BCOE in the meantime. Does that work? Okay.
So, yeah, that sounds like a plan, and we'll concentrate on the first one, and then we'll decide as we go along for maybe another site if it.
Could be, and if we're talking about, because it sounds like what we're talking about now is a big one, my first question on that is, how big is big? Because I'm going to have that information for that site. And then the other thing is that we could end up doing smaller versions of that for different photo ops around town. So we can do like mini ones or something.
Commissioner Krantz?
So can possibly the same artist use 2024 NOFA funds to get started with the larger scale project, and then future NOFA funds, could that same artist do smaller in different location pieces? Could we, I guess what I'm asking is, could we earmark certain NOFA funds just for this project so that the same artist could see it the whole way through?
I suppose I could add language to the NOFA to say an art piece now with the potential for additional art pieces later, something like that.
Commissioner Rayon?
So he does do smaller things, and then he does do like the bigger ones, that the person that I was thinking of, but we can look around or shop for a different artist. And this is the picture of in front of the BCOE where I was thinking there's just like a big open grass area, and it just is lit up
May I see that?
with green.
Is he a
And
local
there's a
artist?
girl in the background.
Is he a local artist?
He's been in Napa, but no, I guess not.
So, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you done? May I speak on this?
Yes, please.
Okay.
You already turned on.
Did I turn it?
No, you were already on.
Oh, I was off. Now I'm on again. So this is the area where we used to do like the downtown movies and those kinds of things. So I don't know. We do different. We do all different kinds of functions on that area a lot. So I don't know if necessarily maybe up against where the mural's at, but
That mural goes all the way down to the ground though with the cup or the bucket spilling. So, right?
I haven't looked at it recently, only when it was dedicated, and,
I think the mural,
This is the picture.
well, it looks
I
like it
sent
is
you.
running down the wall, but, yeah.
Oh, can I speak?
Commissioner Rayon?
Okay, sorry. So, I love that it would keep people safe, so kids wouldn't be running in the streets when they're trying to take a picture, and it's just gonna bring more people to that area. So it's not gonna take up a huge space, it just has to be, the base of the wings are not going to be like taking up a huge space. And there's like tables and picnic benches right there, so people can be sitting and watching their family play on, take pictures and eat or whatever, there's just this huge area there.
Yeah.
If we walk out there again sometime.
yeah, just how big, have you guys decided how big you want the mural to be?
Well-
How big?
could I make a request? I'm participating way more than I should, I realize, but could we move this to the next meeting and then let me participate with the subcommittee so I can support you? That way I can bring in other city team members if we need to help figure things out. Because I feel like there's a lot that's going to be going into this. The location, how is it going to be mounted? What's going to be, we need to worry about the sprinklers, electrical, that kind of thing. So, so that when we do put out the NOFA for this, we actually have the wings in the NOFA that we put in the packet that Noel put together.
Oh, the one for tonight?
It is, but I just take that out. I wanted to have the ANOFA approved by, I'll explain that when we get to that item. But I'd put that in there to be part of this, but now it seems like there's a lot of questions. And what we want to have is as close as possible to have the right thing out there. So, I mean, it's different. If you're putting out something to say, let's do an art piece, and give us your proposals, like the one we had recently where a sculptor came in and then a painter came in, right? So it was just an open-ended thing.
Well-
This one now we're getting very specific, and we're talking about a location, we're talking about a piece, but we don't know how tall it's going to be or where exactly it's going to go. So if it's okay for me to join the subcommittee and be part of that, and then I can support that and then start to look at I can reach out to the locations that we find and pull in our people. And I promise, we won't let this one die. We'll keep moving with it.
I had an idea of how tall I wanted it to be, and
We could still do it tonight. I'm just throwing out there that it seems like there's some things to still figure out.
Okay, so do we have to have a motion, or we just go ahead and agree that we'll just go ahead and move it to the next meeting? with a little more research? Is that what we want to do?
It's to your pleasure. I'm suggesting that I participate with the subcommittee so that I can work out, so I can help find the partner where it will go, get their buy-in to it, and then make sure that where we put it is serviceable and that it goes in a place that where it can be mounted. And it won't be disturbed, or so we could fit around or see what else has to be done. So we have to move sprinkler lines or something like that, or, yeah.
So we don't have to vote on that or anything, can we just come to an agreement on it?
If that's what you want to do, but if you want to actually put out the NOFA right now with the size that you have in mind for the location, we could do that, and then I could work with the BCOE to see how that works out and figure out those things on the side.
Well,
Whatever the commission like to do.
Just with the other NOFAs, we sent out the notice of funds and people came up with ideas.
Their own thing, right?
Yeah, which is another way to approach it, so. I
Well,
mean,
if
it
we
might
put-
be interesting to see what they want, but we have a specific plan in mind, so.
And what I put in here tonight was, the NOFA that I have here tonight is up for discussion for me to make changes to however you want it to be.
Oh, okay.
So it's not, you're not just blessing this to go out, but we can make the changes. I did promise Aaron that I would be posting it tomorrow. So the changes, so I can just make the changes really quick and then put it out. But the difference, so if you just put it out and we don't have a size, so if you have a size that I can put, because is it going to be 7 feet or 5 feet? Because the person that comes in 5 feet will be much cheaper. The person with 7 feet, so what size do you want to have? How big? How tall? How wide? Maybe the location doesn't really matter, and we can work on that on the side. We can figure that out where it can go. So we could still move forward with it just like that. Just let me generally what you're thinking. Is it concrete? Is it steel? Or do you want to leave that up for interpretation for the artist to come up with?
Commissioner Rayon?
Oh, I'm already on. So I don't know if this is what we talked about, Andy, but I was picturing like 14 feet tall. So that's why I'm like one big thing instead of a bunch of little things. So it would be magnificent though. It'd be amazing. So, and then like 5 feet in width, and then concrete stand, and then it would be steel with like lights in it.
Right, because we definitely discussed that we want it to be, it can't be something that's too small, because then what's the point of a photo op? We were thinking if a average adult stood in front of this, if a group of people, if a class out on a field trip or, troop of some kind wanted to get a really great photo op, we want it to be big enough so that you see the impact.
So again, just if I can suggest, if you're doing it for those photo ops where people take the Instagram pictures and it looks like they have the wings, 14 feet is way too tall.
This one is 14 feet and it wasn't too tall. Take pictures in front of that.
Okay,
Oh, so it's not, I'm sorry.
all right. So 14 feet tall, and then I guess the width actually would just be to scale of the 14 feet, so that it really matches what the scale of a pair of red-tailed hawk wings. Okay.
Are you going to put that in the NOFA?
I am.
Okay, well, that probably might not, well, okay. So that sounds like a plan then. You're going to,
And then can we meet afterwards for the location so that I can work with BCOE? Okay.
perfect. All right, we got it done. Hey. So, going to go on to number 2, which we already been talking about a little bit. And that would be the, number 3.
So I'll do a staff report on this, if that's okay. So,
So that NOFA is going to be for $10,000, right? Correct? Or,
is that what we settled on, was $10,000?
well, I'm thinking that's what you said last time. A maximum of 10?
We put not to exceed 40.
Not, you're
I'm
right.
sorry?
We put not to exceed 40.
Well, 40,000. Oh, wow.
So
Okay,
we can dial this back again to make this specific. This is one of the reasons that I mean, we're really having a tough time over here because of the immersion or the conversion
Conversion, yeah.
to a new software system.
Oh, the
we're-
software
We're a little
system.
bit behind and we're struggling over there. So, but the reason we put the $40,000 in is because we weren't putting in a specific spot. So so I can put in the address for this specific spot and then we could lock down a cost. But I don't remember if, because when we put it out for NOFA, then it's got to be open to anyone being able to
correct.
work on it, but we can put the location down.
Yeah, but for this NOFA, it would include the wings, but also the mural.
Yeah.
I mean, it's open to both.
I've got it out for two.
Yeah.
The way I wrote it is, approve the issuance of a notice of funds available for public art projects in Oroville in the amount not to exceed $40,000.
Yeah. So just a little bit of history. When we make NOFAs out and it gets open, then we'll have a little excitement here because there'll be several people wanting to apply and I don't know, it just kind of makes me nervous a little bit because
Same.
we do have some specific projects we want to fund.
Right.
And the other things, we have to just be realistic and say, you know what, this is what we want to do. So we just have to be cognizant of that. Instead of having to spend all of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Commissioner Krantz.
And if anybody has quick access to this, I have a note that I think I wrote what our current NOFA balance is. Can anybody clarify?
I think we have 162,000.
Okay, I have, from the February 13th meeting, I have a note of 143.
143. I think we have a little bit more since then, but let's
Okay.
stick with the 143. There's plenty for what our discussion is tonight.
So do we need to vote on approving the NOFA?
Yeah, so it's going to be approving the NOFA with some edits, and let me just make sure that I have it clear. So we're going to ask for red-tail hawk wings, 14 feet tall, to scale. I'm not sure if I should put the BCOE location down because I don't know if we can do that. So I feel like we just say
Location pending.
location TBD. And then, do you want to specify material, concrete, or do you want to leave that up to artist interpretation?
We'll leave it up to the artist because I think if you're going 14 foot, it might be stronger if it was steel or,
Concrete's going to be very heavy, steel
I
will
would
be a little
think.
bit lighter, but it'll still be heavy. Yeah,
I was picturing steel with
okay. Okay, and I'll put in uplighting, right?
they kind of like cut holes in it and it shines out.
Oh, inside, coming out of the wings? Okay. So backlit or with inlet or something,
Interior lighting.
interior light.
So it shines out.
Okay. All right, so I'll make those changes.
and then you're also going to include the mural along with it. Possible murals.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's, yep. Aaron, what's her address? Okay,
She said hunting is
then you wanted butterflies, right? Wildflowers. Okay, okay. Do you have a size by chance for that wall, like how big it would be? Can you call me in the morning? Okay. Okay, so I have my marching orders. We'll rewrite this. We'll post it tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I guess we're, I'm not,
So do we need to approve the issuance? So do we need to vote?
Yes.
To approve, okay. So
Yeah.
I would like to make a motion to approve the issuance of notice of funds available for public art projects in Oroville with direction given to Pat, not to exceed $40,000.
do we have a second?
Can I clarify
Oh.
that not to exceed $40,000 each? I think that not combined, because I think those wings are going to be,
Not,
they're going to be a little expensive.
Okay. Not to exceed $40,000 each.
so you mean there's a possibility of 80? Is
Well,
that-
I think we sort of have an idea about what hers might cost, but I have no idea what the wings are going
steel
to cost.
wings.
I don't know if the two of them together are going to exceed $40,000. So if we just say,
Okay, just not to exceed 40,000. Okay, perfect. Okay. Everybody clear?
okay,
Anybody want a second? I'll second. Shall we have a vote?
yes.
Motion passed 4 yes and 1 absent.
Okay,
Yay.
thank you.
So we'll finish up our business. Kayla is not here. And when I talked to her, she was very excited. I thought she was going to show some of her work. So I'll just give the recognition out, and it's a certificate with all our commissioners' name on it, and it has to do with dedication to creativity, passion, have inspired those around you, and enriched our community. Your combined contribution reflects excellent and a commitment to artistic expression that truly deserves this acknowledgement. And so, there's a young lady that won the Congressional Art Contest last year. And so her work is displayed in the hallway connecting the two houses in Washington, which a few years ago I went and saw how it is, and it was quite a nice exhibit. It has the whole nation, all the states and counties, congressional counties, so quite a lot of artwork. And I don't have her picture, but it was a bird flying over the rice fields in a very impressionistic style. So, and then she also works on Montgomery at 2 shops. She's quite industrious, and one day she was out painting another mural. So, very inspiring to see her. So now she's would be a freshman in college, I believe. So, I'll just make sure she gets it. And then the artist Rivertown gave her a little check for some extra supplies. So just keep her going.
That's great.
Okay, so yeah, Commissioner Rayon.
So she will have an art show in Mugshots
Oh.
this next month. All of her artwork will be hanging.
nice.
So if you want to go and see it.
All right.
Do you know when that starts?
Oh, I think it was for December. So right now.
Well, it should be up now.
Anytime right now.
Okay, thank you.
Well, good. So would it be appropriate to have Walton come up and just talk about the sculpture again before we adjourn? We okay with that? Okay, so Walton, you got 3 minutes. You want to just maybe tell us what you would like?
It's movable, because there's channel iron on each side where I take a forklift and lift it up. And when I first got it made, I took it down here to the middle of the street. They closed all the streets off for a fair kind of thing. And Carol Johnson and I put it on my truck, my flatbed, and took it down there. And then he walked into the jewelry shop, and he said, "Well, this is a nice piece of wood. Why don't you put it on the side?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. It's movable." And he said, "Well, you know, Marconi's, I think, and got two guys out of there. Just said, come on out here, I need your help. And we set it right in the middle of the road downtown. That really went well. But where you guys want to put it is probably more up to you. I mean, I'm too busy and I'm too old to do this stuff. I can't even weld anymore.
No.
So,
But you're supporting wherever we decide. and-
yes, I think between all of you, I'll be satisfied.
Oh, great. Well, thank you.
Okay, so thank you for your time.
Thank you for, so, do we have enough time to maybe choose a location for that one, or,
We don't have it on the agenda.
no, next time?
Yeah, right. We can explore in the meantime, or do you want to do well, no, we don't have it on the agenda, so.
I don't know if we need a committee for that.
Yeah. Do you want to? Oh, I think we have an open comment.
Oh, yes. We have somebody in the audience? What-
You're all related.
What's your
I
name?
don't think. Hi, my name is Erin Lackey, and I was inspired by hearing you all talk about the wings, maybe different locations, even though that's not what's happening. But it started getting me thinking about something that has been in conversation with the Downtown Oroville Business Association. I sit on the board. I'm part of the Welcome Committee. And so one of the things that has come up is the trash cans that have been installed by the city, which is amazing. And so I don't know, I might be speaking out of turn, but we've been trying to figure out if there's something that we can do with the trash cans, like put advertisements, have businesses put advertisements on there and things like that, which the BID has, or the board has said, we may not like that as much because it might be too commercial or too much advertising downtown. So my thought was, what if there was some painted trash cans? I don't know. So I'm just throwing that out there as something to think about, maybe for the future, and put it on the agenda. I don't know if that would probably be a conversation to have with the city or stuff like that. I've seen other towns do really creative things where there's a theme with the trash cans and they all look the same, but it's really cute. And I don't know, another way to have art displayed in our community. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Can I comment on that?
Yeah, well, actually, Aaron, great minds think alike.
Yes.
We were thinking,
We already talked about it.
well, we did, but we kind of,
He asked to have it on the agenda this evening, and I asked to not have it on the agenda because the ODBA, I know, wants to have a part of that. So I was thinking that maybe the two committees could work together.
Great. We're
yeah.
all thinking the same.
And
Yeah,
I feel
we-
like we probably need to have Fred involved with that, or maybe Alyssa to be part of that, because it is Public Works. And so, so I'll approach them and ask them about that, and then we could do this offline. It doesn't have to be part of the Art Commission, but I'll just put you all together.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the ideas that we were throwing around well, I thought it was going to be coming up, so. Did we cover everything? Commissioner Krantz?
So I'd like to ask a question that doesn't have to be answered right now. A project, an approval that we have now, I believe it's been over a year. I'm hoping that we can get that back on a future agenda, and possibly I would like to think that we could have this really done to commemorate 120th year of Oroville by 2026, and that is the design of our city seal. You know, we had several really great submissions. We voted on it, we discussed it, and then I think it was shelved for a while some details were worked out. I'm not exactly sure what the status is at this point, but maybe that could be something in 2025 meetings that we get focused on again.
So that is actually, that definitely has to go to council. I'm not really sure what the pathway for that is. I'll probably have to talk to Kayla and Brian Ring.
Okay.
So I can report on that at the next meeting.
Great.
If that's okay.
Okay, so I think we've covered all the things we need to, and then for our next meeting, we're going to be able to review some NOFAs. We'll be revisiting the wings, check in with BCOE on if that might be a spot, and possible locations for the salmon. Did I cover everything? Is that what we're gonna be looking at for next time? All right. Are we good? Everything good? So, we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting 10 minutes early. If, of course, can't go by that clock, but. All right, thank you, everybody. Every 2 months, so it would be.
January 14th.
January 14th.